Top 15 Best Roblox Iron Man Games. Hey Robloxians, what's going on? In today's video, we're going to discuss the top 15 best Roblox Iron Man games of 2022. Alright, let's begin. Avengers Testing Server. It is a well-known fact that Avengers is one of the best superhero teams of all time. Well, this game tries to provide the same experience you may feel when you join the Avengers. The game is almost the same as the team led by Iron Man tries to fight against the villains of the city. The game is very well created by the Marvel universe. The graphics are decent and the game is a bit uneasy to play. But don't try to judge it, since the game is currently in the testing phase. It receives frequent updates, while the players have also shown some positive feedback. So if you are a fan of Iron Man, then this game is totally for you. Iron Man Simulator. Iron Man Simulator is a free roam simulator fighting game that is quite similar to the first one on this list, with the exception that it misses some of the finer features of the sequel. You'll have access to 19 Iron Man suits in this game. All of them are based on the movie and comics. In comparison to the second game, the game's overall environmental design is terrible. But don't let that discourage you from playing in this game. It is still the cause for the existence of Iron Man Simulator 2. Multiverse Legacy. In this Roblox game, you can play as any Marvel superhero from the huge roster of superheroes. You can also fight it out in a bizarre world. Spend your time with various Marvel characters present in the universe and in the entire multiverse. Captain Marvel, Thor, Iron Man, and some cool superheroes which are among the playable characters. Marvel vs. DC. Marvel vs. DC is a crossover game that pits the two opposing comic book franchises against one another. You can play this game with your friends or random players online indefinitely. For DC Comics heroes, there are heroes and villains in this game. You can choose from a total of 15 heroes and villains. You can also play up to 15 or more Marvel characters. Keep in mind that some heroes will require a Game Pass. Marvel and DC Superheroes. In this Marvel expanded universe, you can become the most powerful character of all time. You can unlock various abilities to destroy your opponents and indicate that you can once again defeat powerful characters. It's also quite boring as this game is all about superheroes. You can even choose the villains instead of the heroes, but it's completely up to you. The game also has a big map, especially in comparison to the other Iron Man games present on Roblox. It's up to you whether you want to protest against the crime or start it again. Characters from the X-Men, Fantastic Four, and of course the Avengers are among some Marvel heroes. The good thing is that you not only can play as Marvel superheroes, but also as DC superheroes. Iron Man vs. Hulk. Iron Man vs. Hulk is a famous tycoon game, which is inspired by the two famous MCU heroes. In this game, players can create their own kingdom. However, you will need to defend your empire from different attacks of adversaries. You will also be indulged in to get into a battle with the popular MCU character, Hulk, and your job will be to overthrow him to get crowned as the best player in your server. Survive the Iron Man the Killer. The game Survive the Iron Man the Killer is quite unique. You'll have to protest assaults from none other than Iron Man. He has gone crazy and wants to kill everyone. It's not difficult at all, and playing this game is quite entertaining and exciting. Your enemy is a Chad version of Iron Man with a large muscle and someone who is pursuing people around. He can clearly murder you as soon as he reaches you. But of course, you're not a moron. That's why, as soon as you see him, you'll have to do everything that you can to get out of his way. It's a refreshing game from the conventional free roam fighting Roblox games that gets boring after a while. Iron Man Battlegrounds. Iron Man Battlegrounds is essentially a player versus player Iron Man game. It's similar to PUBG, but instead of shooting with guns, you'll be using Iron Man suits. There are currently 20 suits accessible in the game, and the map is large enough to accommodate a large number of players at once. It's especially lovely because the game has a day and night cycle, which makes it appear more natural than most games with static weather systems. Iron Man Simulator 3. Iron Man Simulator 3 is a fighting game that features a large number of non-player characters. Until you move on to the following game, you'll have to remove it indefinitely. As always, you have plenty of weaponry to choose from, as well as the ability to morph into them. The only thing that you might dislike about this game is that you can't do much stuff as you can't fly, which is a great disappointment. Iron Man. Iron Man is a fighting game with a free roaming mode. In a free roam fighting game, what you generally do? That's right, you can beat anyone. There are 4 different types of Iron Man suits in this game, and you can also operate War Machine suits. The models are average, but not horrible, and the screen has a holographic UI. You can even shoot repulsor beams after you have them on, but the most significant feature is that you can fly. Doesn't that sound good? You can check your speed, HP, power, and status on the holographic UI, and can also eject, remove the mask, or remove the helmet. Superpower Mashup Roleplay. Roleplay as any of the Marvel and DC canon characters, as well as characters from other realms. You and your pals can hang out while boasting about each other's abilities and hero picks. I believe the best way to describe this game is that it is yet another role-playing game. There are no quests or objectives, but the map is large and the sense of size in relation to the map, and the characters perfectly encapsulates the storyless game. Iron Man vs. SpiderMan All Worlds Collide. Well, can you think about the outcomes if 2 great Marvel superheroes get into a big feud? Iron Man vs. Spider-Man All Worlds Collide obeys the same theory. In this game, you will be fighting with your enemies by using Iron Man against Spider-Man. Well, you could even pick Iron Man and perform all his stunts just like the real Iron Man from the movies. Iron Man Simulator 2. Surfo's Iron Man Simulator 2 is the much-anticipated successor to the first game of the same name. You can play as Iron Man in this game. And as you might expect, it's a free-roaming simulator game in which you may play as Iron Man. This game has a really cool set of features. The suit's UI can be accessed by pressing Q. There are also 20 other Iron Man suits, each with its own user interface. Plus, there's more. The suit will detect and do the action if you type a specific chat or message. It's a pretty neat game. Iron Man Battle Sim. Iron Man Battle Sim is a fighting game with a free roaming mode. This is a game in which you can beat people to death, albeit not literally. There are just 4 versions of the Mark suit available for now. But that's fine, you're not going to play this game for very long. Iron Man Infinite. Iron Man Infinite is a role-playing and fighting game set in an open environment. You'll be able to transform into a variety of characters, including Iron Man, Spider-Man, Captain America, and others. The game's menu at the beginning is quite cool. Despite the fact that this game only has 2 maps, it is still insanely fantastic. Wear your Mark 42 and 43 suit as Iron Man, and do Iron Man things like blasting laser beams and explosives from your repulsors. With that being said, it's time to end our video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more amazing content. Thanks for watching.